Finally, I've managed to get my hands on the Rolex of the micro-brand world. Is it any good? Let's get into it! Yes, and welcome to the Mad Watch Collector Show. Today I've got a fantastic watch from a brand called Monta. Only been around 6, 7, 8 years, but this brand has made a name for themselves as being a company that makes very high luxury Swiss-made watches at a more affordable-ish price. Now I say affordable, we are talking luxury here, and it's that range between £1,500 and £3,000. There is a lot of competition, but I have never seen or heard a bad word said about a Monta watch. Have you? Not only for the products they make, but for the service they give. So, me being deeply interested about, bang for buck and value for money, I wanted to get one of their watches in for review. And a very specific one, the Skyquest GMT. Now, recently this watch has had a bit of a facelift. This is the 2.0 Skyquest. And I wanted to compare it to the likes of the Tudor Black Bay GMT, the Hydra Conquest GMT, and see where it fits in that sort of affordable luxury ballpark. Now, it's a big thanks to Monta for sending this watch in for review, and I don't need to give it back. But as usual, that will not stop me giving it the old MWC critique and telling you whether I think it is a good deal. Are we about to see your future mid-tier luxury GMT? Maybe. Are you Monta ready? Let's go. So, ladies and gentlemen, here is the 2.0 version of the Skyquest GMT. Now, you can tell why I was attracted to this watch to start with, can't you? It has very vintage vibes, very simple to read, and just looks darn well made. There are a few variants to the Skyquest. Here I've got the Pepsi GMT with the gilt gold accents, and you have to say they've done a darn good job with this. Top of those lugs brushed. We've got a beautiful chamfer and transition to the sides of the lugs that are polished. Those polished crown guards look awesome. Even though they're not too big, they do enhance the look of this lovely crown, which is signed. Just holding this watch, you can tell that this is luxury. It feels like a high-end Swiss watch, there's no doubt about it. It's a bit of a stunner. Quick spec check! We got a just over 40mm case, 11.8mm thick, which is fantastic, seeing as this is a watch with a GMT complication and its high water resistance rating. It's 47.4mm lug to lug and a very strapaholic 20mm lug width. I say strapaholic, you won't be changing the straps of this one, let me tell you. Spoiler alert! This bracelet is phenomenal. We've got a flat sapphire glass protecting the dial with 7 layers of AR coating, meaning if you see a reflection in this thing,
there's gotta be a good reason for it.
So yes, we have a screw down crown and a screw in exhibition case back, giving this watch a water resistant rating of 300 meters. The bezel is fantastic. It's stainless steel with an anodized aluminium insert. We've got a deep navy blue on the top, deciphering the night, and red for the day, and printed 24-hour markers. I'm not 100% sure on that round circular marker at 12. I'm not sure what they could put there in its place, but it looks a little bit like the record button on this camera. Now, if you look down at this watch, you can see that the bezel grip is polished, but when you look to the side of it, it is in fact brushed. Huge gapped coin edging. This thing is fantastic to twist, and the action is just as good. It has 48 clicks, and it is bi-directional. The action is lovely. Oh yeah. Very grippy, very satisfying, perfect, and just what I'd expect from a watch at this sort of price. Now with Monta, the good just keeps getting better because the bracelet is one of the best I have ever seen. Certainly on a small independent brand like this. Solid links, solid end links, screw-in links. The articulation of the links is absolutely phenomenal. And when it comes to the clasp, well, for me, it's better than my Black Bay 58s. The brushed on the top, those polished chamfers, fold over security, but the feeling of shutting this clasp, oh, It is just awesome. We also have a very well made and very easy to use easy extension. And with 3 points of extension, which is around 6 mil, you are gonna get your perfect fit. Definitely one of the best bracelets we've had on the channel. Sweet.
Could you just click that like button, please? It really helps the channel. Thank you.
Right, let's look at the face.
Dial time.
First of all, it's matte black, gilt minute markers going around the outside, big bold hour indices framed in gold with that nice white lume. I'm not a huge fan of a date window, but if you are gonna have one there, right in the middle at 6 o'clock, perfect for symmetry, I'll take that. The hands are very well made, laser sharp as well. The lume on the second hand is at the top, at the end, right where I want it, and we have this iconic big red GMT hand pointing like a big arrow. The whole balance of this dial looks perfect to me, and even though it's much simpler than the first version of the Skyquest, the design choices here are just spot on. So we've got lume on the hands, lume on the indices. Out of 10, how much does this puppy glow? So this was really nice. I don't get to see much BGW9, it has to be said. It tends to be less glowy than the C3. The legibility is phenomenal. Thanks to that big 12 marker and the lacquer lume where the date window is. This isn't really officially a dive watch, so what more do you want? Powering this beauty is what Monta call their M23, which is basically a Sellita SW330-2, a high-grade version. Sweeps away at 28,800 beats per hour, has 56 hours of power reserve, and is what you would call a cooler GMT. It's a movement where you can independently move the GMT hand, which is great for when you're going on holiday to one destination, because then you've got 2 different time zones you can read. And with the 24-hour bezel, you can read 3 time zones. If you've gone on holiday, want to check your home time, and also you want to check your friend's holiday time. I don't even know why you would do that. Unscrewing the crown and winding this thing is buttery smooth. The crown could be a little bit bigger for my tastes, just to get a better grip on it. Pull it out to the first position, wind it away from you, and you can change that hour hand. Pull it towards you and you can change the date. Pull it out to the last position, the second hand stops, and we can set the time on the rest of the hands. Push it back in and Bob's your uncle.
Hello.
On my 6.5-inch wrist, and this really works. This is so comfy, it's unbelievable. I would definitely put this up there with my Rolex Explorer for comfort, my Tudor Black Bay 58, and the Formex Essence. This watch makes you want to wear it. I love how it sits flat on my wrist, and the contours of the end links just come down beautifully enough to make it look like it was made for me. I wouldn't say this watch is not a shower. You know, the red, the blues, and the golds definitely show it off the wrist, but it's a subtle show offer, you know, with that aluminium insert. Had it been a ceramic or a shiny glossy insert, I think it may have been a bit too much for me. But 11.8 millimeters thick on a GMT watch with 300 meters water resistance, that is special. So there we go, the Monta Skyquest GMT. What do you think? Well, I think I'll go outside in this time. The wearability of this watch is phenomenal. I don't really want to take this off my wrist. It's definitely one of the best bracelets I've ever handled. The operation of using the clasp is amazing. The case size is spot on. There's enough polishing and brushing going on in this watch to make it an all-rounder, an everyday watch. I love the layout of the dial. That is a beautifully made bezel, made for twisting. I'm still not sure of that record button at 12 o'clock on the insert. The gold colour chosen for the indices, I'm not getting the warmth that I do get from my Tudor Black Bay 58. It's more of a yellowy gold. Still looks vintage, but doesn't give me that warm, fuzzy feeling. For me, the crown is a little bit small. I would have liked it a little bit more chunkier. But to be honest, that's really about it. If I was to compare this to the Black Bay GMT, I would buy this one in a heartbeat. I think the Tudor is £3,700. That's a lot of money for, yes, it may be a true GMT or a Traveler's GMT, where you can independently move the hour hand, that Tudor is unwearable on most wrists. This watch is £1,995, and when I compare it to the likes of the Longines Hydra Conquest GMT, which is £2,650, there's certainly nothing in the difference between quality, that's for sure. I prefer the bezel and the bezel action and the bracelet and clasp on this, which is a huge compliment to Monta. But there's always a hard part, isn't there? Handing over such a big lot of money to a small independent brand, as opposed to putting your money in Longines that have been around since the dawn of time, or at least the dawn when they started selling time. This Skyquest GMT is definitely one of the best watches from an independent watch brand I've reviewed. There's no wonder why it has a good reputation all around the watch space, and this is another brand that has given me great hopes for Swiss watchmaking. Here it is, my wife's views on the Monta Skyquest GMT. I don't really like it. Too much gold on it. Reminds me of something you'd buy on a Greek holiday. Short and sweet by the wife, but she means well. Honestly, Monta, she means well. Thank you so much for watching till the end. If you want to show a bit more support to the Mad Watch Collector channel, go on, join. If you want some merch, of course you do. Get a bit down lower there, yeah? But if I got you for a few more minutes, why don't you check this puppy out? Oh, this is a video of a watch that I have just designed. There's about 2 more weeks before the pre-order stops. Go on, click it. If you haven't seen it yet, click it. Go on, click it.